Hi there, I'm Dale Mathis coming to you today from my home studio in Sun City, Arizona. And today I am presenting 5 new songs to go along with Lesson 2 of the Dale Mathis Slow and Easy Accordion course. And you know, I should probably, instead of saying Lesson 2, I should probably say Chapter 2. Because I've presented just one song originally in the Lesson 2, but there's a lot more material to cover, and so I want to cover more of the bases and give you more opportunities and more sheet music titles to play to practice these skills at this point in your playing. So the first thing that you always want to do is go to mycrownmusic.net and download all of this free sheet music. There are 5 tunes that I'm going to present in this video today, and it's going to be in a couple of segments. One is that I'm going to go over the sheet music that you can download. They're all PDF files, and point out all the things that you need to watch for. And then in the last segment of the video, I will hook the accordion directly up to the video camera, and then you will be able to closely watch my keys and my fingers. And the beauty of doing this by video, of course, is that you can always stop and you can watch what I have done and back it up and do it all over again. So again, these are 5 supplemental tunes at the very beginning of our accordion class. Lesson 1 had 5 tunes in it, and now I'm presenting 5 more tunes for Lesson 2. And they are all in the 5-finger position. So in other words, if you get your thumb placed on middle C, well actually it's not middle C, but the lowest C on your keyboard, you will be in the correct playing position, and as long as your fingers don't move, your fingers are going to be directly above the keys that you need. So let me just bring this down here just to show you what I'm talking about. So on this accordion, this is a Roland FR4X, and it is a 37-note keyboard, so you can see how it goes all the way up to a G down here, and it starts on a G here on the keyboard. And so we have 2 black keys, but the way that you always tell how things are going with the note names is you look for the pattern of 3 black keys and 2 black keys. So in the particular C scale or C chords that we're working with at this very elementary level, you can start at that C key and you can play a C scale. And it's the familiar do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So it's... So for these 5 tunes, as long as you have your fingers in this position of having your thumb there on that C, every finger is going to be in the correct position, so you don't have to switch around anything with fingers. Just stay in that position and you're always going to find the right note. Okay, so next let's go to the sheet music. Okay, so the first tune that we're going to be dealing with today is the Bluebird Waltz. So if you will pull up your sheet music for this one that you've downloaded, the things that I've made notes about here is that this song has 3 beats in each measure. And so when we're talking about 3 beats, you'll see in the time signature here where it says 3, 4, that top number is telling you how many beats are in each measure. And the waltz theme of music always has 3 beats in it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And this type of note that's presented here is the dotted half note. So it is the circle with a stem on it, and it's got a dot behind it, and that gets 3 beats. So you would hold that, this is an E, and you can always tell the C from your keyboard because it's the one with the first ledger line through it. So you've got C, and then right above that in the space is D, and then this one is E. And so you get your third finger on your keyboard on the E, and the tune goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you use your second finger and play the D. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the reason why I counted to 4, 5, 6 there is here's another new thing. This curved line is a device that we call a tie, a musical tie. And when you see a curved line like that, that means that the value of those notes are tied together. So this dotted half note got 3 beats, and this dotted half note got 3 beats. Well, you add 3 and 3 and you get 6. And the thing about when you've got a tie, you do not lift your hand off the keys between these two measures. And really important for an accordion player, don't change the direction of the bellows because it will have the effect of sounding like you've played 2 separate notes. Okay, so that's the right hand. It's only 3 notes, so very simple. The notes are E, D, and C. And then in the left hand, you have a C bass and chord, and you're going to hold both the bass button and the chord button down together for 3 beats in this measure, 3 beats in this measure, 3 beats in this measure. Every measure, it's 3 beats. So the first 4 measures here, and again the measures are the spaces divided by these bar lines. So this is measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and notice the little 7 there. It's just counting your place. So measure 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here's measure 13, 14, 15, 16. And 16 measures is a very common format for written music in the Western type of style that we're working with here. So, all right, I'm going to now play the left hand. So it's 1, the C bass and chord, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you got to go up to the G bass and chord, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now back to the C, and also note right here in the measure, it's written C, so that's giving you the name of the bass and chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And here it says G, so you move up to the G bass and chord in your left hand. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And here it says C, and there's a tie, so you've got to hold it for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I'm going to play the whole thing together. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and then start playing. And I'm going to go rather slow, so it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Switch chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Switch chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Switch chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the Bluebird Waltz. Just a 3-note tune, and something that I'm sure that you'll grasp fairly quickly. And this actually tune has been around forever, I think, because I learned on it when I was a kid, 60 years ago? Oh my goodness, 60 years ago. So it's been a standard little teaching piece, and just 3 notes. Okay, so now the next tune that we're going to do, I called the Redbird Waltz. So in the Redbird Waltz, it's a lot of the same things. We still have 3 beats in each measure. Now you're going to be changing the chords every measure. So it's 1 measure of C, 1 measure of G chord, next measure C, next measure G chord, and then here's one of those tied things where you're going to hold the C chord for 6 beats, and then it's G for 1 measure, C, C, G, and of course I've got them written right in there with the names. And what this indicates, the lower note of the group of 2 is the bass note, and the higher note is the chord note. And for you folks who can read bass clef, this is the same stuff that you can play on piano. It's all identical music. You can actually play piano music on the accordion. So, all right, so again, it's another 16 measure piece. And let's see, here's just a little review that I wrote down here. Quarter notes receive 1 beat. So again, quarter notes are the black note with the stem on it. And it says half notes receive 2 beats. Well, that's the circle with the stem on it. Then here it says dotted half notes receive 3 beats. So that type of note right there is a circle with a dot behind it, so it gets 3 beats. And let's see, tied notes. There you have to tie the value of both notes together to get the total. And then here I wrote in the fingering numbers. So you're going to start with your little finger on the G note, and then play your 3rd finger on the E note and your 2nd finger on the D note. And I only did it for the first measure, so if you need more help with remembering what fingers to use, you've got all of the right fingering in that first line, so you can get out your pencil and write in the finger numbers if you need that help to help you learn your fingering position. And if you need to, take a pencil and write in the note names of those notes also, because anything that you do to keep you more involved with learning the theory of music and learning to read music notes, go ahead and do it. You know, you can use those little crutches to help you in the beginning, because it'll just get you going. All right, so I'm going to play for you the Redbird Waltz. So it goes, I'm going to give you 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The end. Okay, and how do you know it's the end? Well, because this thing right here, the double bar with the heavy one and then the lighter one, that's an indicator that it's the end of the song. And just a couple of other little music theory things to note. This is the treble clef, that fancy sign up there. And for accordion players, it means that you're going to play with the right hand. This is the bass clef. And for accordion players, it means that those notes are going to play with the left hand. And this thing right here is actually called a brace. And it ties the staff, the treble staff, and the bass staff together. So it's called a brace. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera off for just a second here and catch a breath, and then we'll come back and get the next 3 tunes. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Now, please know that this video has 5 songs in it, but you might want to take 5 weeks to learn these 5 songs. You know, there's no hurry to get where we're going here. Just take it as slow as you want to go. And also, don't be afraid to use other accordion methods as supplements, or a for real accordion teacher, you know, that you meet up with in person, because there's nothing better than having an accordion teacher watch what you're playing and pointing out the things that you need help with. So there we go. Okay, so now we're on the next song. And again, this is at mycrownmusic.net is where you find all these pieces of sheet music to download. And so this one is called the Chug Along Song. And again, it's a little practice piece that I just made up, but it's just to help you learn these basic elementary skills and get us going where you're going. Okay, so now in this one, what's different is the left hand is all quarter notes. So instead of the dotted half notes that we had before, where it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This time it is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you're actually making a rhythm with your left hand bass and chord buttons. And the melody on this, again, there's just 5 fingers in that simple position where your thumb is based at the C, and you don't have to ever move out of that position. And I put in a couple of basic finger numbers here just to give you reminders. And other than that, there's nothing new in this song. So it's just that the left hand, now I'm having you play in rhythm just to get a better sense of that count. And please don't be afraid to count along with your playing. Some people tap their foot to help them keep time. Some people use a metronome to help them keep time. If you've got an organ or a keyboard in your house that has automatic drums on it, you can use that. Just turn on a waltz rhythm, and you can use the waltz rhythm as your metronome to play this song. So let's give it a shot here. I'm going to give a different sound to my accordion. This is a musette sound. The sound I had used earlier was just a single reed. And when you have a musette sound, that's when multiple reeds are playing. Here it is. So I'm using a musette sound for this particular song. So I'm going to count 3 beats, and then I'm going to start playing the tune. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that again is a 16 measure piece. And something that I would like you to understand about music is that there are a lot of repeats. So like if we look at these first 8 bars or measures, bars or measures, it's an interchangeable terminology. Bum, 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 ba, da, 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 da. That's eight bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like a phrase, and at the end of that, singers would take a breath, and then you would start over again. And if you'll notice, this measure 1 and this measure 9, they're identical. And this measure 2 and this measure 10, they're identical. That one and that one, they're identical. That one and that one, they're identical. This one is identical to this one. This one, identical. The only shift that happens is when we get to the end of the song. To get a feeling of being the end, I've changed the melody a little bit so that it has a finale, finish to it, or a feeling to it, finished feeling to it. All right, so that's the chug-along song. And again, a reminder, you don't have to learn all these songs at one time. If it takes you 5 weeks to learn them, that's okay. Okay, so now when we go to Rainy Day song, instead of 3 beats to the measure, now we're doing 4 beats to the measure. And you can tell because that top note or top number in the time signature says 4 up there. So that's what that means. And so at a later time I will tell you what the bottom 4 means, but at this point just know that that top number tells you how many beats in each measure. So again, nothing new in this tune as far as the right hand. You've had all of this stuff in the previous songs, and in the previous song you also had the quarter notes beating in time to help you keep a rhythm. It's just that now you will have 4 quarter notes. So this first measure with the C is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the second measure you switch to the G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you just keep switching back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And do not be afraid to practice that. Take that, just that thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just practice it over and over and over. So much of learning to play a musical instrument like the accordion is muscle memory. And that's why it is so, so important to practice a few minutes every day. If you play for 2 hours once a week, I'm sorry to say most people just never get there. But 10 minutes every day, that just makes all the difference, because it's that constant repetition, plus you're always keeping the material fresh in your mind, and it just helps you get to where you're going. So I really strongly suggest that you pick up your accordion every day, 10 minutes minimum. If you can do a half hour, great. But that repetition is what will get us where we're going. So let me play the Rainy Day song for you. So now in the count in, I have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, because there are 4 beats in every measure. And let's give it a whirl here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cha, cha, cha. How about that? Yeah, so hey, I know, don't give me a hard time here. I know that Rainy Day song is never going to be a #1 hit on the hit parade, but it does give you some basic skills to work on, and you know, we'll get to much, much better songs that everybody knows in a little bit. But right now we've just got to get some of these basic fundamentals down. All right, so now we're on to the last tune, and this one is the Hot Dog song. And again, really nothing new here, just more of the same, and just another song for you to practice on. Still, all 5 notes in the right hand are all notes that you've had. If you keep your thumb on the C, you'll be in good shape. You'll never hit a wrong note. What else? Actually, I didn't even write in any fingering numbers on this one. If you wish, go ahead and write in the fingering numbers. So like that C you would use your thumb on, and the E you would use your 3rd finger, and the G you would use your little finger. And here in this G chord measure, the D you would use your 2nd finger, the E you would use your 3rd finger, The F you would use your fourth finger, and the G you would use your little fifth finger. And that's pretty much it. So let me play this tune for you. Again, I'm going to count you in 4 beats. 1. Oh, let's give a new sound here. Let's see, what can I use? I know, because this is a digital accordion that I'm playing. Let's use a clarinet sound. Okay, so it's going to sound like this. But I'm still going to use the accordion bass and chord sound. So here we go. 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Cha cha cha. There we go. Okay, and you know I had talked about that repetition thing. So if you look at your sheet music, you will see that measure 5 and measure 9, they're identical. These two measures, 6 and 10, they're identical. This one and this one, they're identical. This one and this one, they're identical. So once you know this one, you also know this one because it's just repeated. And just for some variety for this tune, the first line is a little different from the second line. But interesting thing to look at here is that the chord structure, this is C, C, G, C, and actually here's a measure with just 2 beats of C and 2 beats of G. And down here on the bottom line, it's C, C, G, and then that last measure, it's C, 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 or cha, cha, cha. Okay, so I wish you much, much success with your accordion playing, and to follow this segment of this video, you will find I've plugged the Roland accordion into the camera so that you can watch my keys playing. And good luck to you all, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.